Hello and good afternoon, everyone. As usual, my name is Robert Hall. I'm the chairman of Project Elect Tupelo, Mississippi. We are enthusiastic leaders engaging in changing times. And as we promised, we're going to continue to try and feed positive information out to the community, to the grassroots areas, to those who may otherwise not get that information. And so we are here today, I guess, just a big encourager of mine. I'm a big fan of his, Mr. O'Nae Chatman. How
Yes,
are you
sir.
doing?
Doing well.
Good
Doing
to
well.
see you.
Good to be here.
Glad to have you.
Yes, sir.
We got some informed information here that we're going to try to share with the community. We got some great things coming up. But I'm just going to start and hit it right off.
Okay.
Who is O'Nae Chatman? Now, I know you're living here in Tupelo. I know that you're originally from Shannon, but I know there's a lot of other things that you are.
Yeah.
And so just kind of talk to me. Just tell me and my audience who you are.
Man, listen, I'm a young brother, man, raised by grandma, right? I was born to 14-year-old parents, so they weren't able to raise me, so they gave me to my grandmother. And it's her wisdom and knowledge that has carried me thus far, by teaching me the value of education, hard work, instilling in me all the good principles and foundational principles that I've always needed to be successful in life. So I'm just that guy, man. I'm that guy that that came from nothing, and out here trying to do something.
Came from nothing.
Trying to do something. I serve as a educational consultant. Started my own educational consulting firm back in 2016. And so we traveled the country speaking to thousands of students. So to date, we've spoken to over 250,000 students or more, all over the nation, empowering them with foundational principles in the area of social and emotional learning. So your self-awareness, your social awareness, your self-management, your positive decision-making, your team building, all those foundational tools that they need to be successful in life, we teach those skills. And so that's who I am, man. I'm an educator, man.
Now,
I'm an educator.
Now, education is something that I know Project Elect is, we're high on that. We know that is number one and foremost, because we know that if a gentleman has or a young lady that has a high school education, they're less likely to go to jail, less likely to get involved with crime, less likely to do things that would stunt that. And so we're a big fan of education. Now tell us a little bit about your educational background. I know you came up around this area, but you've gone pretty high up.
Oh yeah, I've gone. Well, I would say so. I started out at the University of Mississippi.
Okay. Ole
Miss, did a year there. I ended up finishing the University of Phoenix, so I have a bachelor's degree in criminal justice from University of Phoenix, and from there I went over to the Morehouse School of Religion in Atlanta, Georgia, got my master's in education, and now looking to do the PhD. So I'm not stopping, man. I'm going all the way.
Going all the way.
So
in other words, you're just not out here preaching this.
Oh, no.
You're living
I live this every day, man. I'm an educator by nature, man. If you follow my posts, I'm always trying to educate. I'm always putting out information that people can use. That's just who I am. Dr. Naeem Akbar says, know thyself.
Right.
I live by that principle of knowing thyself, right? So you can have all the education in the world, but do you have education of self? Do you know who you are? Do you know your background? Do you know where you came from? Do you know where you're going? And so I think once a person gets education of self, they become like man, dynamite.
Right.
Their life goes to a whole new level once you learn the knowledge of self.
Now, you are also an author.
Yes, sir.
You've written, if I did my research correct,
26 books.
26 books.
26.
So, how did that get instilled in you? Tell me about that.
Man, to be honest with you, I had to write out of necessity. So being an educational consultant, I would often go into schools, and the first thing I would notice is that there was no material that looked like the children in the building, right? And so I said, this is a problem. So I began to create material that was culturally relevant and culturally responsive to our young people. And so since they didn't have the material, I didn't sit back and wait until somebody created it. I created it.
Okay.
So I really began to write out of necessity. And I sat down one day, one summer, and I had written 9 books in a month. And those 9 books became my curriculum. So I created my own curriculum that I take into schools with me. Their principals bring me in to discuss with their students. And so now I'm at 26 books.
26 books. Now, I don't know if you remember this. It was maybe a couple years ago, several months ago, that you and I were talking, and we found out that you were an author. You had written several books.
Yep.
You had a challenge with getting into the doors that would allow you to get with kids that you wanted to make contact with.
Yep.
In other words, you had something to offer.
Yep.
But you had a challenge and you didn't quit.
Didn't quit.
So how did you overcome that challenge? Because I kind of felt for you, brother.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it was some doors right here you knocked on of people that should have been.
Oh yeah, of course, of course. I think that guy we read about on Sunday says it best. Prophet is not honored in his own home, right? And so no matter where I go, no matter what consultant I talk to, they all have the same story. They travel the nation. Many of them are international speakers, speak all over the world, but cannot get into school in their own hometown. Right? And so I'm kind of experiencing kind of the same thing at times. And it's just people are too comfortable with you, and maybe know too much about you, have seen you grow up, so they can't begin to see you in a certain light, right? But when you go out and when you go to other places, man, I'm all over in California, doing consulting work all in Fresno, California, and you get this love. And you wish you had that same love at home. You wish you received that same adoration, admiration at home and all of that good stuff, but sometimes it's just not there, but you just keep going. You don't stop. You keep going, man, and putting out material and empowering as many young people as you can, man. And you don't stop.
So at this point, you could be in Florida, Texas, all these areas that you've actually been that have accepted what you're doing as positive for the kids. But you decide to come right back here to your hometown, Tupelo, Lee County, Mississippi, to constantly try and push down these barriers in order to connect with our kids.
Yeah. Well, it's because I have this mentality that you don't have to necessarily always move to be successful, right? Of course, you're going to do work in other states, other areas, but I never believed I had to run to an Atlanta, Georgia, or run to a California to be successful. I believe that I can bring what I do here and kind of create my own table, right? So if somebody won't let you at that table, what do? You build your own. and that's what we're going to talk about today, man, with this gentleman's school. This is me building my own table, saying that I'm not waiting on anybody to pull back a chair for me. I'm going to build it myself. I'm going to get out. I'm going to ask the community to help. And this community has helped me. They have reached out. They have said, hey, we want to give to your school. We see the work you're doing. So, people know pretenders and they know the real deal.
They know the real deal.
Right? And so when they see you doing real work, they'll get behind you. And so we have to begin to sometimes build our own table, so that we may be able to do some of the things we want to do. People won't let us in that door.
Right. So, looking over some of your work, and I'll get to some of your books in a moment, but you had said, I guess in a quote, and I think this is yours, the greatest tenets of self is sit with your own thoughts.
Sit with your thoughts.
Sit with your thoughts. And so, bring that home to me.
Yeah. So,
because I've been trying to figure it out.
Yeah. Well, the post. So, every week we do barbershop talk with Avery.
Gotcha. Okay.
And on this particular show, we talked about self-care. People self-care, retreating yourself away from the crowd to do self-care. And my quote was that self-care is not just getting a haircut. It's not just getting a massage. But self-care is also sitting with your own thoughts, right? And I think a lot of times people don't take the time to sit with their thoughts, because if we did, we wouldn't go off on people as much, because a lot of times we're going off when really we're the problem. So we're blaming everybody in the room, but we're the problem. And we don't know we're the problem because we don't sit with our thoughts long enough to come to the realization that, hey, I could be the problem. It's like the guy that
That's
has...
gonna be hard, though.
Yeah, it's like the guy that has 10 relationships and he blame them all 10 for failing on the woman. Well, at some point now, you ain't running across 10 bad with, it's you too. But so you have to sit with your thoughts to really come to the realization that it could be me.
So you're talking to the man in the mirror.
Man in the mirror, man. Man
So
in the mirror.
that leads me to something else. We're just having a conversation.
All right.
And I don't want to put you on the spot, but and I don't know how old you are. I know you're
39.
younger than I am, but you're very, very vocal about your thoughts. You're vocal about your beliefs. You're vocal about helping the young people, and you've even challenged other leaders in the community to step up. Where'd you get that fire and that drive from?
Man, my grandma, man. Man, listen.
Grandma didn't play?
She don't play. Don't play to this day.
Hands.
Don't play to this day, man. Man, she don't play, man. She's for real. And I was wondering where I got that spirit from. It's her. Man, she sit down and look at that news all day and fuss at the TV.
Wow.
About, she has such a righteous indignation when she sees something going wrong in society. Man, and I got that same thing, man. You know how many calls I've received. Nay, you could do this, you could do that, if you just would speak on issues. Wow. You're a smart man, you're intelligent. Why do you have to touch those issues? You could go so much farther if you didn't touch this, touch that. But I try to tell them, I don't know how not to touch it, because it's just in me. I've sit with that. I've sit with that thought of, man, what could I do, man, if I just played the go along to get along game, you know? But it's not in me. It's just not. And when it's not in you, you can't do it. You feel like you're dying if you don't speak.
Right.
And I know there's also a time to say something too. Right. You don't have to pop off on everything. But you feel like you're dying inside if you don't speak up on the issues. And that's because it's a spirit on the inside of you that's pushing you. You know, and kind of like Daddy King told Martin, said, son, look, you got a PhD. You can be a professor, make $200,000 a year, live a good life, you and Coretta. You don't have to be out here doing this. He was trying to protect his son because he knew ultimately what would happen. But Martin had something pushing him. Right. And he said, I can live that life, but it's something on the inside of me that pushes me, that makes me do the things that I'm doing, and I don't know how to get out.
Well, King said, he said himself in the end, he would, those ones that sit still and said nothing. I mean, we can sit by. We're just as bad as the ones that's out there doing it.
That's it.
We sit silently by.
That's it.
That's it. Well, I want to ask about your books. I see several here. I see one talk about lifestyle. College
life skills for college students. So one of my former classmates, she's a chaplain now at a college in Tyler, Texas. And she messaged me and said, look, I need a book for my college students. She said, do you have a book for college students? I said, no, but give me 2 days.
Wait, you wrote that book in 2 days?
2 days. This is the book. And she bought 75 of them for a student, sent me the picture of all of them holding up the book. So now they do weekly studies on this little bitty book right here. So I tell people, look, most time people are worried about how long their book is going to be, so they don't write. Because they're like, man, my book, it's not going to be long. It does not matter. It's not about how long a book is. It's about the content in the book. And so as you can notice, most of my books are 40 pages.
Something you can...
But they sell.
But it said a whole lot.
It said a whole lot. It's about the content. Saving Our Sons, my second book. So I took my master thesis project and turned this into a book about mentoring African American males in the 21st century. Another book, 80 pages. Sold thousands of these around the nation. Unlocking the Genius of the Black Male Mind. Once again, going into the mentoring piece. This is about 25 pages.
Mm-hmm.
How to Become a Successful Young Man.
Okay.
Another great book that people use in their mentoring programs to encourage their young males. As you can see, I'm always intentional about the pictures I put on the book.
Mm-hmm.
So I want representation.
Okay.
So I want them to see themselves on the cover. Because, they may go from kindergarten all the way through college and never see a book with a black male on it. So I'm very intentional. I'm very intentional about it.
So that triggers another question.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed that we are, we know that there's challenges in the African American community. I know that from my background and what I did and all this stuff. Sometimes though, when guys like you step out and you talk about pro-black, pro-African American, whatever, people may take you as a radical, may take you as someone that's trying to go down a road that we don't want to talk about.
Of course.
How do you, and I know myself, I know you as a person, I believe, I know you as a friend, and everything that you're doing is for the betterment of our community, to make someone better. So how do you challenge that when people are pushing back, saying you're going down the wrong road, Doc? You're a racist, you're this, that, and the other. How do you...
Man,
how do you handle that and keep going? And the reason I'm saying that, because a lot of people got skills, got things that they need to be doing. They know they need to be doing things, but they will not step out because they believe that they're going to be looked upon differently.
Right.
And I know it's kind of deep. I mean,
man, hey, listen. I think you need to be an actual reporter, man. You pretty good. Hey, listen, man. You pretty good with these questions. Man, I do it by just staying true to me. What I tell people is like this. There are going to be some doors you won't get in because they think you're radical. But there's somebody looking for a person like you. And the moment we realize that every crowd is not our crowd, you begin to live life in a fuller manner. Every school is not my school to go into. Every crowd I'm not going to get in front of. It may be for another speaker to get in front of that crowd. But there's somebody that's looking for me. Principals will call me. A lot of them, sometimes they're in African American districts. They're looking for a guy like me. They've been waiting. Man, you got books that look like our children? We've been waiting on that. So somebody is waiting on what you have. But we spend so much time saying, I can't get in this door, while disqualifying ourselves for the doors we're actually called to, right? So I'm trying not to spend as much time worrying about doors I can't get in and focus on those doors that are waiting on me. Because there's people saying, we're waiting on a guy like you. Like, you're what my kids need to see. A young guy from absolutely nothing that's now doing something positive. And so that's how I kind of get through it, is being true to myself. Every door is not my door. And I realize that. Hence the fact.
Every door is not your door.
Every door is not my door, man.
I gotta remember that.
Every door is not mine, man. And I just had to realize that some doors I won't get in, but I thank God for those I do get in. Because those are my doors. Those are the ones I'm supposed to be in. And everybody don't eat Chick-fil-A. Now that may be hard to believe, but it's not for everybody. And so you're not going to be for everybody, but you're called to somebody, and you got to find your somebodies throughout your life, and I think that's how you begin to live a more, as I say, fuller life.
Very well said. Now, you have an event that's coming up. See if I can see this thing correctly here. From the Chatman Consulting Group, LLC, Young Kings Gentlemen's School.
That's it.
That's coming up in June the 12th at New Dimensional Church. And I was looking at some of the things that's there on that, and that you guys are going to be teaching.
Oh,
and it brought out some, and I got to looking at this, and I said, how to change a flat tire. Developing social emotional skills, how to iron clothes. So are you saying that our young black community of the ages here, I think it was
10, 18.
10, 18, are you seeing that as a problem in the African American
Oh
community?
yeah, oh yeah, major problem, major problem. So I'm using the model of Saturday school,
Okay.
and this is nothing new.
Mm-hmm.
You know, our ancestors did this in the 40s, the 50s, the 60s.
Mhm.
They call it supplemental schools. So they were never trying to take the place of the traditional schools, but they understood our kids need a supplement. Kind of like when you
Mhm.
go to the gym, you take a supplement
Right.
to put some things into your body.
Mm-hmm.
That's all we're doing with education, is we're becoming that supplement that they need.
Mhm.
So we're not trying to replace them going to get their math, science, chemistry, English education. But this is supplemental education. Or what I really call it foundational,
Mhm.
because I believe these skills are foundational skills, right? So I tell people all the time, your IQ can get you hired on a job, but it's going to be your lack of EQ, emotional intelligence, that's going to get you fired. And so what we're trying to do is begin back teaching emotional intelligence. You know, that self-management. Young man, do you have self-management? Because when you go to college, mom can't get you out of bed in the morning, right? And that professor does not care if you show up in his classes. Now he still got paid.
Wow.
So you got to have some self-management. You got to have some get up about yourself. You know, can you go to college and conduct yourself like a young man and get up, go to that 8 o'clock class,
Mm-hmm.
and graduate? So we're trying to give them foundational tools that's going to serve them for the rest of their life. You know.
Wow. Now, I'm going to have to confess on this, and this just happened last week. And you know, us older guys, man, I got me a 0 turn more. And it's been sitting there. I've been had it for a few months. And so I was always wondering, my son should be cutting yard. He should be cutting yard. He should cut the yard. He told me last week, he said, I cut the yard, but you never took the time to show me how to use this lawnmower. And I said, whoa, that was deep.
Yeah.
So how many dads that think they got it together
Right.
that haven't taken the time to show their kids how to change a tire,
Mhm.
how to wear a suit,
Mm-hmm.
all of these things that it's going to take
Mhm.
that he needs to function in life.
A lot, man. A lot. Then you
So
have
he just
to,
called me out.
man.
And I'm one that
listen.
think I got it together.
Hey, you gotta sit with them thoughts, man. you gotta sit with them thoughts.
Right.
But the critical thing is, he's fortunate to have a dad in the home that can still teach him. Many of the young boys that's coming to me, no father in the home. So that's why they called it a supplemental school.
Supplemental school.
We're going to give you the supplement that you may not be getting
Mhm.
in this other space. And that's what this is. This is supplement. One of the biggest things that we're going to do is we're going to teach them entrepreneurship. So I'm having somebody come in to show them how to take a logo, put it on a t-shirt, begin selling your own t-shirts in the community, right?
Mhm.
So instead of wearing Nike to school, how about you wear your own logo and begin to sell it?
Okay.
How about you learn how to put some candy in a bag and sell it? Most entrepreneurs started selling candy.
Mm-hmm.
That's usually how they get their start. So for my younger guys, as young as 10, we're gonna be teaching them entrepreneurship at 10. They're gonna already be getting in this mindset that you can have your own business, that you can go out here this summer and make your own money. That's why I'm out here raising this money, because I want to give scholarships.
Wow.
I want to give several young men entrepreneurship scholarships, so that, hey, your father may have a lawnmower sitting around. Well, we give you a $150 scholarship. Now you got your gas. Now you can go around the neighborhood and mow yards and make some money. What we're trying to do is get them in the mindset of entrepreneurship. Because once they begin to see that money hit their hand from their own work, and they begin to learn the value of money, that money don't grow on trees.
Get the money legally.
Yeah, that's it. That was my mindset, that We want to teach you how to make money legally. So you're not out here breaking in nobody's house. You're not out here robbing nobody, but you're learning how to be an entrepreneur at 10.
Wow.
And I just don't see anybody around here doing that. And I listen.
That's why we got you.
I like to be first too. You know what I'm saying? I like to be first because I don't see that. And so that's what we're going to put forth so that they get these skills and that they can use them. I keep saying for the rest. Stuff I learned at Shannon High School, Mr. Anderson, in shop class, sticks with me to this day. Because he was teaching us foundational skills. Now, when you're in his class, you take it as a joke. Because you're young,
right,
you're immature. But as you get older, you say, man, he was teaching us life skills. When he took us in the greenhouse and said, guys, one day y'all may have to grow your own food. Well, you 14, 15, you saying, man, I go to the refrigerator to get food. I don't grow no food. I just open up my refrigerator. Well, how did the food get in the refrigerator? Somebody had to farm.
Somebody had to put it there.
Right? So somebody had to put it there. And so he was teaching us those life skills that still serve me to this day. And that's what I want to do with this school.
So how can the community, how can us putting this information out there, how can we help you be successful in this? How can the community, those that we're talking to out there, help you be successful in putting on this school? And I'm sure there's going to be a lot more to trail.
Oh, yeah. It's a lot more.
How can we help?
The first thing is I need as many men as possible to be there. June 12th, starting at 10 a.m., New Dimensions Church.
Okay.
That's the old White Hill
Right.
building there on Easton. I need as many men there as possible because I want these young boys to see men that are upstanding and that are doing positive things in the community. I want men up there teaching these boys how to iron. Not just me. I want men hands-on showing them these different skills.
Right.
How to change a flat tire. How to wash clothes. All these different skills. So I need as many men there as possible to come and be that father figure on that day.
Okay.
And then I need people to give.
Okay.
I need you to give. You can do that in several ways. So if you're writing a check, make the check out to Wear It Well. That is Katina Holland.
Right.
Has a nonprofit organization here, and she's taking the funds for us for the Young Kings Gentlemen's School, and we thank her for that. And we thank those that have already become platinum sponsors. M-Pool was my first platinum sponsor. Several gold sponsors, several bronze sponsors, silver sponsors. And so I thank every person that has already given to the Young Kings Gentlemen's School, but we need more.
And this is through her 501c3, I assume that's what it is.
So everything you give is tax deductible. Everything you give is tax deductible. So make the check out to Wear It Well. P.O. Box 3033.
Okay.
Tupelo, Mississippi 38804.
Okay. Now, if someone wanted to call you personally and say, hey, I want to be involved, I want to be there, do they call you? Is there a
They
number
can
for
call
that?
me per 662-397-5781.
Okay.
They can call me personally.
Now, you know that I could go on and on with you. I'm a big fan of education. I'm a big fan of people learning finances, which I wish I had learned way before I learned them.
Oh man, don't we all?
I'm a big fan of community development, which is what you're doing. And community development is that precursor to economic development. Now you're teaching the basics, but now we can learn how to make money and give back in the community and so on.
Oh yeah.
So man, we appreciate you, and so I will do this. You got me on the spot. We want to get you back with Project Elect.
All right.
But this is my donation.
Man, thank you, man.
So this is my donation. I know that the man behind our camera there, Maurice Shumpert, he's also contributing. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to challenge other people that just like us to contact you and to give to this very worthy cause.
Please do.
Because the thing about it is giving to this could almost stop a kid from breaking into something, if he's at your Saturday school learning something,
Yep.
it could stop him from stealing something.
Yep.
It could stop him from hurting someone else.
Mm-hmm.
The value of education from the high school dropouts, we know what happened,
Mm-hmm.
and so on. And so I appreciate you, man. I thank you for taking time to talk to Project Elect. Enthusiastic leaders engaging in changing time. Now, you enthusiastic. You're a leader, and you showed change in some time. So, you know. So, man, we appreciate you. Any closing words for our audience?
Listen, please bring your young man out, 10 to 18. Please bring him on that day, June 12th, starting at 10 a.m. There's no pre-registration. I did that for a reason. I don't want anybody to have an excuse for not coming. Just show up. We'll register you at the door. Just show up. June 12th, starting at 10 a.m., New Dimensions Church. And we're going to go to 4 p.m. We got King Walker coming from Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay.
They call him Mr. Awaken the Genius. He has a boys' school in inner city Atlanta doing the same type of work.
Okay.
And so he's going to be there, man. Listen, powerhouse, man. He's going to empower these young men. He's going to pour into them. And so we're going to have several different classes where they're going to be learning different things. How to tie a tie, how to iron clothes, the financial piece. And I'm going to be bringing in guys such as yourself in the future to teach these different classes. Because what we wanted to do, what we envision, is them matriculating through these classes and actually graduating.
Wow.
Where their parents can come out and actually see them walk the stage,
Wow.
get a certificate. Because I want my older guys to come back and empower and mentor the younger guys. And so that's what we envision, is taking this thing forward. Of course, we can't do this every Saturday, but we're going to try to do it about once a quarter. Bring these guys back together, and we're going to be tracking what classes they've already completed all the way up to completion. And give them a certificate.
Okay. Now I'm gonna ask you one other question. This is gonna put you on the spot, but we gotta go. I'm gonna ask you this, and then you can reply to it. And sure, we gotta go. How important is it for our community to get out and vote in these races? Now, Project Elect, we're bipartisan. We're 501c3. We can't lead to any side, but we can encourage people to get out and vote.
Yeah.
How important is that to you to get the right people in the right places in voting in this current mayoral election and our city council people?
I think it's very important. I've been voting since I was 18, but sometimes people don't like my stance on voting. But all I tell them is know who you're voting for. It doesn't have to be one side candidate that we've always voted for. It could be another person that has your best interest, right? And so I just tell them to get to know who the person that you're voting for. What are they going to do for your community? A lot of times we go to the table and speak for everybody but ourselves. Because we want to show that we have this compassion, and we do. But when you come to the table, you need to say, what are you doing for people that look like me? Because we're in need. We need it. We have empirical evidence to show and prove how far behind we are. So, nobody should find it robbery for us to ask a candidate, what are you going to do for people that look like us? Because we need it. Right. We need it. We're that man that's on the side of the road, that's been hit over the head. And we need some bandage. We need a bandage and a hotel. You know what I'm saying? We need some. I got you. We need some medicine, man. And so, please go out and vote, man. We saw. I was so impressed by what Stacey Abrams did in Georgia through the power of the vote, and getting out registered over 1 million people. That's awesome. And we saw that shift. And getting Senator Warnock, who was my former professor. He taught me black church and black history there at the Morehouse School of Religion. Now he's now a U.S. Senator. John Ossoff, and getting those guys elected. So there's great power in voting. Just know who you're voting for.
Know who you voted for. Well said.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Project Elect, again, Robert Hall, proud to be the chairman, proud to be here with Mr. O'Nae Chatman. We definitely want to support him and what he's doing on June the 12th, 2021, New Dimensional Church on South Canal. He's giving you the phone numbers, 10 to 4. It's going to be a great event. And again, man, thank you. Please share this. We'll have it's on YouTube. It'll be on YouTube. It's on Project Elect's Facebook. So share. You think this is great information? Share with your friends. Call your friends. Just do it. That's all I got to say. Have a great night. Thanks.